Well, hello everyone.
Original song mode.
Welcome to the Four Persons. And going to be honest with you, this episode is completely impromptu, not rehearsed, not scripted. So you're going to see and hear what I have to say from the heart, right off the top of my head. Don't know how this is going to go, but one thing I can be sure of, and you can be sure of, is that what you're about to see and hear is sincere, honest to God truth from the heart. Folks, before creating this apostolate, I created a different one called Deeper Truth that was later hijacked by people who were more interested in promoting themselves and their own egoistic message than they were in promoting the truth of what I was trying to get by in that apostolate. But hey, that's fine. That's water under the bridge. Getting to the heart of what it means to be a Christian, not what millions of people think that it means, but what it really means. There are only two paths to get to heaven, and one is the path of innocence, and one is the path of suffering. Unfortunately, for most of us, myself included, uh, the path of innocence is no longer an option. Many of us, myself included, have made decisions in our past that we regret, or at least we should. Um, Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that don't have regret that should have regret. Again, I digress. I leave those people to their own devices. For many of us, and I would even argue most of us, life here on planet Earth is a mess. A seemingly unsolvable explosion of tragic events, things that we destroyed because of our bad decisions, or things that were completely destroyed because of the bad decisions of others, or things that were just destroyed and there doesn't seem to be anybody at fault. And this whole toxic cocktail of tragedies is not the exception, it's the rule. Most people I know are going through this. Most people. And I've been hesitant to do this because I don't want to draw undue attention to myself and make it sound like my situation is worse than this person or that person or the other person. But I decided to do it so that all of you will know you're not alone. You're just not. Many of us want to do the right thing, strive to do the right thing, are fighting to do the right thing with every fiber of our being. And we're so weighted down with fears and phobias and traumas and worries and unsolvable situations. And I'm reminded of the words of, I think it was Chesterton that said that the model of a Christian, the mark of a Christian, is to love the unlovable, to forgive the unforgivable, to hope for the hopeless, to bear the unbearable, and to believe the unbelievable. And that sounds absurd. That a mighty God, knowing what frail and fragile and hopeless creatures we are, would put that upon us. Because echoing the words of Paul, I would call myself the worst of all sinners, the weakest of all vessels, the most unworthy, the most broken. And God has placed in my path obstacles and barriers that I wouldn't have believed in a million years that I could endure. In 1998, I lost a son. He died as a baby. My three living children, the two oldest, I haven't seen in more than 7 years. The youngest, I haven't seen in almost 7 years. Do I believe that it's fair that they have estranged me from their lives? No. Do I believe that I deserve it? No. Do I believe that I have done everything possible I can to resolve the situation? Yes. And nevertheless, the situation still remains. I love them, though I hate what they're doing. I love them, though I hate what they have become. They have suffered unimaginably, and a lot of their suffering, unfortunately, I didn't find out about until it was too late to do anything about it. And the scope and the magnitude of what was hidden from me was so massive that by the time it was revealed to me, I didn't even know how to even begin to process it or deal with it or solve it. And over time, as the family, as they grew healthier and prospered and overcame, I thought that the mystery would diminish over time, but it didn't. It got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the situation got more and more and more impossible to understand and get my mind around and figure out what is the right thing to do. And to a large extent, I still don't know. But I know this: I love them and I miss them. And I pray every day that they be reconciled with God and that they heal. And I would like to be reconciled with my family. And I hope and pray that I'll be reconciled with my family. But if the price of them being reconciled with God and healed is that I must remain on the outside, that's a terrible price. That's a painful price, but it's a price I'm willing to accept. There's been a lot that's been said about me by very evil people, very evil people who have their own agendas. I'm about as genuine of a person as you will ever meet in your lifetime. And that's really maybe the problem, is that I'm too genuine. I speak from the heart. I tell the truth as it is. I let the chips fall where they may. I know people who have lost loved ones under tragic circumstances. I know people, and I've interviewed people on this program whose kids were murdered, who have suffered incredible tragedies, who are undergoing tremendous grief and overcoming tremendous things. And let me tell you something, folks. If you've read the Gospels, if you've read the Bible, and you don't see the story of the prodigal son, shame on you. Shame on you if you have no compassion for the person who was lost and is now found, who was blind and now they see. Because I know people like that. I know people like that who look back on their past with revulsion, who shudder at the person that they used to be, but they don't live there anymore. I have a close personal friend who, while fleeing the police, hit a pedestrian on a bicycle and killed him and went to prison as a result. And that person today is one of the most devout, on fire men of God I have ever met in my life. And if I were to go to war today in a crusade for Christ, I would want him standing right next to me. And I don't remind him of his past because he doesn't live there anymore. And I just want to say, if you are living for Christ, you're suffering. You cannot live for Christ. You cannot hold the love of God in your heart and look at this world around us and not be in pain. It's impossible. Suffering is one thing, despair is another. Do not despair. One day, God will end your suffering. One day, He will end your suffering if you are faithful. If you are faithful, one day God will end your suffering. I promise you that. I promise you that. And He'll end it one way, one of two ways. He'll end it by drawing it away from you, or He'll end it by ending your life. And if you are a man of God, if you are a woman of God, at that precise moment, you'll realize that your suffering was nothing compared to the reward that is to come. And I am not, my intention for deeper truth and my intention for the four persons as a replacement of deeper truth is this message. God has not abandoned us. When Jesus cried out from the cross, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, that is, my God, why have you forsaken me? He threw a blanket, so to speak, over his divinity. He fully submerged himself into his humanity so he could understand and experience and plunge himself into the agony of knowing what it feels like to feel that you have been abandoned by God. And when you have gone through what I have gone through, and what many of the people I know have gone through, you understand what it is to be in that place of complete darkness, that place where you feel like God has abandoned you, that place where you cry out from the depths of your own soul, my God, why have you forsaken me? When you have been in that place, then you understand it. If you have not been in that place, you will never understand it. There is not a blackness in this world more black. There is not an emptiness in this world more empty. There is not a coldness in this world more cold than the feeling that you're walking through life in the shadow of a God who has forsaken you. And St. John of the Cross said that at that moment that Jesus immersed himself into that agony of experiencing being forsaken by God, this deep mystery that God himself, Jesus, could experience being forsaken by God. How could God experience being forsaken by God? Well, Jesus managed to do that. He experienced it. He experienced the feeling not of being forsaken by God, but of feeling like he had been forsaken by God. And why? Because that agony is so deep. That agony is so raw. That agony is so black that few people experience it in life for any long period of time. But Jesus experienced it. And because Jesus experienced that raw, deep, dark agony, he made it holy. He made that deepest, darkest agony holy and salvific, so that when you are at that deep, dark moment in your life, when you feel that God has forsaken you, he is the closest to you. And he's actually putting his loving arms around you. He hasn't forsaken you in that place. He's right there with you in it. I'm not going to lie to you, folks. Sometimes it's hard for me to even get up in the morning. Missing my family so bad. Wishing so bad that I could do something to fix the situation. But here is the amazing irony and beauty of who our God is. Our God is able to take the pain that I experience, the pain that I feel for them, the pain that I offer up for them. And he's able to use that pain for their conversion. That's the kind of God we serve. That's the kind of God who died for us. And if you know that and you believe that, it's only human that you're sometimes going to experience pain. It's only human that you're sometimes going to experience sorrow. But if you know that and you believe that, you should never lose hope, ever. Hold on in the midst of your trials and believe that the God who suffered and died for us will complete the work that he has begun in you. I hope that you'll listen to what I have to say here. God bless you and thank you.